How do I raise a pre-seed round without warm introductions? I'm preparing to raise a pre-seed investment round, but I don't have an established investor network. Almost everything I read says that warm introductions are the best to meet angels and VCs. This is true. That is very true. The problem is, as a first-time founder, I simply don't have those connections. You are not alone. Can cold outreach generally work for raising investment? And if you had 30 days to start building an investor pipeline from scratch, what would you do? 30 days. Wow, that's quite short. Doing the 30-day investor pipeline, I'll walk you through some ideas on that of what you're able to do. Typically, you need to allow yourself at least 90 days from the initial conversation to getting in the room with an investor. Warm introductions, you can absolutely do it sooner. I've personally raised investment within 5 or 6 days of doing something, but that's always been typically either a warm introduction to another warm introduction, if that makes sense. So you then get the inferred trust. But what would I do? Okay, if I had a business idea right now, so let's say that I was selling boat hooks and I needed to get an investor, what I would do is this. I would have a look at, be really clear on the type of investor that I want. So am I wanting to look at an active investor? Is it just the money that I want? So I want them to be more of a silent partner. Do we want an investor where they can put part money in as well as open up their network to you to get your product into other areas? So for example, you might, if I've got a boat hook, I might be looking at an investor that can bring some money to the table, but also has relationships with, say, boat builders and marinas, etc. I would be first looking at really clear on the type of investor, having a look at the type of money that I want to raise, and be really clear on the seed round. Well, in this one, it was the pre-seed. So be really clear on looking at pre-seed angel type investors and start in your local area to start with. So, if you are based in, for example, in London, I would be searching online through LinkedIn, through, there's different databases that you can search for. But one caveat on this, don't spam people. Investors hate it, they just ignore it. I hate it and I just ignore it. If you just send me cold pitch decks, not interested. So what you need to do is you need to take a genuine interest in what the investor is working with. So for example, I do a lot of charity work. So be interested in the charity work before you send the pitch deck. Have a conversation with me. There's a lot of tools out there that are promoting that, okay, you can just send 1,000 messages to 1,000 investors, and you can absolutely do that. But from experience, especially for cold introductions, you need to warm the lead up. And I think we're in a day and age that no one should be sending a 100% cold outreach. You can now do so much research on the person that you're wanting to speak with and connect with them and be a human being. So things which I've done in the past for doing cold outreach. So what I would do with this is I would highlight my top 10 investors that I want to reach out to. And then I would find them on LinkedIn. I would see what they're interested in. Typically would then send them something in the post, like a lumpy mail or something called a shock and awe package, where you can send like a parcel. But I would only do that for the top 3, or the top 5. What this allows you to then do is you don't want too many conversations going all at the same time, but you need to be different. Everyone at the moment, or not everyone, but most people are sending lots and lots of messages to investors all over the world. The reality is it's just noise. And what you need to do is you need to cut through the clutter. So I would pick the top 10. I would focus on the top 5 or 3. I would find what they're interested in. And then I would find if you can look at where their office is and then get something delivered to them, registered mail. And that can be a number of things. I've done things where we've put a lottery ticket in and we've put some lumpy mail. So there's been like a bottle cap and it's like, okay, often investing in business can feel like, winning, the lottery, but we've de-risked our company with A, B, and C. So what you're doing is that, again, you're looking at this golden thread. Think of it that it's not a bridge too far. So I want you to think of going, okay, the first thing that we need to do is get a meeting with an investor. At the moment, don't worry about your pitch. So you need to work as hard as what you have on your pitch in getting the first meeting. So you need to do some really solid research on who you're speaking to, work out what they're interested in, find out, do they have an office? And if they do, fantastic. Make sure that you get something delivered to them, registered mail, personal from you. Don't just get ChatGPT to write it or anything. One of the things that I would personally do, I would send a letter with a QR code on it. The QR code would scan to a video, and my video would be personal to them. And that's different. So we're using a mix of offline and online technology. That would capture my attention. Once you've then got the meeting, it's all then about de-risking what you're doing. So you need to have an understanding of what events have they been to recently? Have they sponsored anything? Do a bit of background research. Do they have kids? How old are they? Do they like sailing or golf and things like that? Once you've had the meeting with them, I would then send them a postcard. And that postcard would have something on it. So if they're interested in sailing, on the front of the postcard, it would have something to do with sailing. If they're interested in golf, I'd have something interested for them to do with golf. And I would do a handwritten thank you. The purpose of the meeting is not then to pitch your idea. The purpose of the meeting is asking them for advice, saying, look, I've got this idea, we've got this business, I think it's investable, but I'm not 100% sure. If I bought you a coffee, can I buy you lunch? Would you give me some advice? And if we hit A, B, and C milestones, would this be something you're interested in? Investors love that. People love that. So be human when you are doing that. So hopefully that has answered question number 2.